Hello, guys. Welcome to the Unshaken Girl podcast. My name is June, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about the lessons that I've learned while seeking for a job. This is my story. I have pursued a degree in law at African Nazarene University, and this is my story. So, I'm telling my experience and what I've learned over time. I know some of you have looked for job maybe for 5 years, for 10 years, and they haven't gotten a job yet, a good job yet. But I want to share what God has been teaching me about seeking employment in Kenya or even in the world. This is not only for Kenyans, but for every person who is trusting God for a job opportunity. So as I said, I have pursued a Bachelor of Degree in Law at African Nazarene University, and I had expectations that after I finish school, I'll be having a good job, a well-paying job, because I know our God is a good God and He provides. But over time, I just finished December, and for the last 5 months, I've learned so much, and I thank God that He has revealed this to me about seeking employment, seeking business, and all that. The first thing that I've learned is God is the greatest connector. You see, in Kenya, there's this language that we say, in Kenya, lazima ukwe na connection. I mean, in Kenya, you must be having a good connection. I would say it is a no. I would say having connection, especially human connection, I don't think you must be having connection to get a job. Yeah. What I've learned is that God is the greatest connector. Yani, God ni yeye connection ile kubwa. Because sometimes we put our trust on people. Let's say in our family members, you're like, I know a friend, or my dad, my mom, my uncle works in this company, in this organization. After I finish school, they will sort me out. They will ask me for my certificates and all that. I know network helps, but God overrides every other person. And you know why? I'll be giving you the second reason, or the second lesson that I've learned while seeking for a job, and that is knowing your identity and what God has for you. Because at the end of it all, what matters is what God has for you as a person. And that has made me understand that in future days, when I'm looking for employment or something to do, my biggest burden is not a job. My biggest burden will be, God, what assignment do you have for me in this season of my life? I've come to realize that God is the biggest employer, is my employer. So wherever I'll find myself working, or whatever project I'll find myself doing, I'll be doing it in a revelation of that God is my employer, and it is not about human employment. And that takes us to the question of, God, what do you want me to do? So number one lesson that I've learned is God is our greatest connector. He is one who will align your steps to the right place, to where you're supposed to be. Hata ukuwa unajuana na watu wangapi, He will take you where He wants you to be. Number two, like when you know your identity, like when you know what God wants for you in different seasons of your life, it will be so easy to identify the niche that you're good at. It will be so easy to understand what God wants for you in that season of your life. Because I've come to learn that we waste a lot of time, energy, and finances looking for things that you're not supposed to be having. You know, when I talk about knowing your identity and all that, I've come to learn that the world has given us a system that after college, like you have to go to primary, you have to go to high school. After high school, you go to college. After college, you look for a good job. After getting a good job, you get married, you get children, you buy your own mansion. you buy a car, but I'm learning that life is bigger than that. What God has for us is bigger than the structure, the patterns that the world has created for us. So every time, all those steps, all those processes are good, but the biggest thing is every time in our different seasons in our lives is to ask ourselves what God has for you in such a time. Number three is patience. Man, you have to be patient. You have to be patient with God, because the aspect that you are in a hurry doesn't mean God is in a hurry. God will come at his own time, because we always have a plan for ourselves. You expect to have a child at this age, you expect to have a job at this age, but at this time, but I've learned that you have to be patient while waiting for job opportunity, while whatever you're trusting God for, you have to be patient with him, and that gives you peace. Because when you're not patient with God, and when you don't give God a space to do things according to his own time and according to his own will, we become frustrated. That is the third lesson that I've learned. Number four lesson is avoid pressure from the society. Man, this pressure, you'll get it from friends. I remember when I was in attachment, my supervisor told me one thing. That time I was in campus, I was in third year, and he told me one thing. I never knew that it will be a reality in my life. He told me that when you finish school, every person will go in their different fields, their different callings. Some will get amazing jobs, some will get married, some will have good business, some will buy cars, land, properties, and all that. But at the end of it all, God has given each and every one of us a chance. And it's so easy to be immersed in this pressure of the world. Like, my friends are doing well, my life, you start feeling like you're delaying and all that. So you don't need to focus on what your friends are doing, or you be swept away by comparing yourself with other people. And another pressure that you might get is from your family. Identity is very personal. Sometimes even your parents, or even your sisters, your family, it's so hard to understand who you are at a personal level. And you see, the world has given us a structure or a path that each and every one of us should be following. And sometimes it's so easy for your family to feel like you're not doing enough. They feel like sometimes they feel like you're not thinking, like you don't have you're not doing anything with your life, and they are worried. And in most cases, it's not out of hate or dislike, it's out of love. Your parents can love you too much that they don't want you to go through hardships in life. They want to have the best way, to have a shortcut to ensure that you don't suffer. So you end up getting this pressure of looking for any job for means of surviving, or for you to please your friends or your family. So that is one thing that, guys, we need to be careful of, not to be swept away by the pressure of our friends, our parents, our family. Yes, it's good to listen to advice, but stick to what you feel God is speaking to you. Stick to what God is leading you to do. And also, we're in an era of social media. It's so easy to be swept away by the pressure of social media. You feel like your life is not moving, whereas your friends' life and people, the celebrities and all that, their life is moving on well. So stick to your lane, avoid the pressure of the environment, and stick to God's calling upon your life. Yeah. And the last one is, you have to trust in God. Sometimes you feel like giving up. You even question whether you're listening to God, whether you're listening to the right voice. So you have to trust in him and know that he is God, and know that he will make a way. Sometimes things don't make sense, but when God is in there, it will make sense. So you have to be still and know that He's God. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.